Hello and welcome to the Sports Extravaganza for today. My name is Tony Dean. I'm your co-host. And as always, I'm here with my man, head basketball coach, University City High School, Kelvin Lee. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing great, Tony. Again, I'm going to give a couple of shout outs right now. And the first one, I keep going back. I'm going to keep it in my family, my son again. Again, he had his second exhibition game. He's still learning. Different game in the college level, as we all know. And again, the second game, he was teetering with a triple-double.
Yeah.
Again, had like 9 points. If he hit a couple of shots he normally makes, he had double-digit points. But he had 11 rebounds. 11 rebounds, then he had 5 assists, and a couple of his teammates missed a couple of his dimes he dropped. He should have had. He was teetering with that triple-double, which was good. So again, I had to give a shout out to him, and I'm looking forward to seeing him. They start out in Nebraska on Tuesday night. They play at Nebraska, then they come back home for 2 games. So I'll be watching them play. But again, the last shout out to my own team in your city. It's our first week of practice. We've had a great week. You know how it is. You have a couple of days, and you know our players are. And I'm sure our guests will attest to this. We had 2 good days, and they decided to take a day off. And I was on them about that. I don't like that. So again, but we've had a great week. Great week of practice. Looking forward to coming over to CBC. I think next Monday for the Jamboree. And I'm looking forward to that. And I'm going head to head with our guests here. I love competing. So again, we're going to have some fun that night, my man. But again, I'm going to turn it back over to Batman here. This is Batman. I'm Robin, okay? So again, we're going to have a little fun. And just like always, Larry, I got to start out by saying, it's all the way live. It's all the way live. Go ahead, Batman.
Man, we got the Hughes clan on here today, so it's going to be all right. Speaking of father and son, you already talked about you and your son, and now we have a father and son on here today.
Yes, sir.
I'm happy to have 2 great introductions today. First, I'd like to talk about a young man. Both these guys are native sons, of course, of St. Louis. But my man, Larry Hughes, a 14-year career in the NBA. Mm-hmm. And I remember when he started out at CBC doing special things there, and then going from St. Louis University and then to the NBA. 8th pick in the 1998 draft. Fantastic player and a fantastic father as well.
Yeah.
Larry Hughes is with us. And then we've got the next generation here. You know, my man, I understand he likes to be called L2. So L2 is with us today with his smooth jump shot from CBC High School, a senior, great grades. Hey, everything's looking good in the Hughes household, I can tell. So I'd like to introduce Larry Hughes Jr. also to the show. So Hughes clan today. How y'all doing today?
Doing good, doing good. How about yourself?
I am doing fantastic.
Doing great, man. Doing great.
Coach,
I appreciate y'all having us on.
Well, here's the deal, man. I'm going to take it back, Larry Senior. I'm going to I'm going way back with this, man, because, you know, we have a history. Again, I can remember moving in my first week in St. Louis, and I came over to CBC, the old CBC down on Clayton Road down there. And again, I didn't know you come here from Sikkim, but I heard about you. And I was with St. Louis University, Spoon, and I heard about you. And I came over there to check you out, and I'd never seen you. So again, I get there and I check in with, you know, Ron Golden and the late Rich Gray, you know what I mean, the great Rich Gray, and that's his family to you. And again, I check in with those guys. So again, I walk up there and I said, tell me a little bit about Larry. And Rich looked at me and said, you know. I said, where is it? You know. And then you know. So again, all of a sudden, you walked in the gym. And like I said, I didn't know you. And I looked at Rich and Ron and said, that's a player right there, isn't it? And they said, you damn right it is. That's Larry Hughes. I said, I knew it. I knew it the way he had that strut. He had that swagger about him when you walked in the gym. Like you owned the gym and you were the man. You know what I mean? So that's what I liked about you from day one when I saw you and I started recruiting you. But let's go back a little bit. Tell us about where it all started for you. And again, your mom was very instrumental, Vanessa, in your life. Tell us about that, along with your brother. You know, we all know what happened, but talk to us from day one, where it all started, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was kind of the start of it. I mean, being at CBC High School, you know, I went to a different school, you know, elementary school leading up to high school. So 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, I'm at a different school. So we think about, you know, the CBC days, that's a lot of, what I did really starts there, because I got a chance to understand what a foundation was. I got a chance to understand what accountability was. So CBC was definitely, kind of that starting spot where I can look back and say, a lot of things that happened, it started at CBC. But again, I mean, we're from St. Louis. So our upbringing is about St. Louis. Our upbringing is to represent St. Louis, come from the same, streets and same neighborhoods that a lot of our guys that play ball, come from. We're just fortunate enough to get, behind some good people, like you mentioned, Rich Gray, Coach Ron Golden, Coach DT, Derek Thomas.
That's it.
Yeah. They helped me. Like they helped me. They helped guide me into better situations. So that's my foundation. That's really, that's where it started from. And now just trying to continue that, just trying to continue, what we built, and giving it to the next generation.
Now, you just mentioned Derek Thomas, you know what I mean? And talk to us about the playing for Derek. I know Derek. Derek's a good friend of mine. We have a good history, but I want to hear you talk about him a little bit. He's a good man. Well,
DT is one of those guys, man, when you growing up, especially playing ball, in the inner city, and you don't necessarily have a father figure in the house. And he was a face that looked like me. So he was somebody that I could look up to, that was, doing the right things. He went to college, he played ball, he was giving back to the high school kids, so he was just one of those guys that I could look to, early on, and like, he was 100. Like, he's never, I don't think anybody can say a bad thing about me, if they're around him. He's always been that way. He's always had my back, always supported me. So he's definitely one of those guys, man. I salute, in my journey playing ball and growing up.
All right, good deal, man. Now your mom. Let's get to your mom, because we got a lot of stuff to talk about, Larry. But I want your foundation started with your mom. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, she instilled everything that I know. Whether the basketball piece is a lot of things that I picked up and learned, and just had a lot of different people coming into my corner that I was able to learn from. But she just was there, starting out, instilling confidence, instilling to work hard. Instilling that, you're never below anybody, but you're never above anyone as well. So she taught me to be humble and, take advantage of every situation that I got. So that is the original foundation.
Good deal, man. All right, we're moving on now. Again, I want you to talk about your brother again. You had a recruiting process that's going on. You were recruited by the Kentuckys, the Dukes, all the big power schools, but you decided to stay home. You know what I mean? Again, what was that? Again, I know one of the determining factors, but I want you to tell us why you decided to stay home and play for Charlie Spooner and Derek Thomas at St. Louis U.
Yeah, well, my family was a huge part of that. My mom and my brother. My brother was born with transposition of the great vessels, which is a heart disorder, a heart defect. So he was born with that. So we dealt with those things and dealt with those challenges until the day he was no longer with us. But for me, growing up playing ball, they always got a lot of joy and comfort and peace of mind when I played ball. So you talk about the recruiting process and having to go miles away, and then your family either watching you on TV or sometimes get into games. For me, having St. Louis University as an option that I can go and play, they can come and watch. Not too far away from the house. It wasn't a huge deal for them to get to games, huge transportation deal for them to get to games. So just being close to home, I was able to bring them a lot of joy, as well as, represent the city also.
That's right.
That's it.
Love has priorities, bro.
Yes, sir.
You did your thing with that.
Before I turn it over to my man here, I got one more thing I'm going to share with him, but I never forget this. You're playing against Chaminade. Yeah, man, and then you wasn't having two particular good games at this point, but this kid by the name of Kelly came up to you and he made a shot on you. And then going back up in court, he kind of pads you on the button and kind of pissed you off a little bit, but he woke you up and it was over. It was over after that. Go ahead, tell us a little bit about that game and how you beat Chaminade, but he woke you up. And I told him he should have kept you sleeping.
Well, that's part of, what you have as a basketball player is sometimes you need the motivation. Sometimes you need to find, like, somebody could have said hi, something nice to you, and that's all you need to kind of trigger, that motivation. But the that school over there that wear red and black. I mean,
over there, he said over there.
yeah, that school over there, man, in the red and black. We always want to beat those guys.
Well, you know that was before Kelvin Lee showed up on the scene. You better beat up on him. When I showed up, I know I had a term that CBC stood for Can't Be Chaminade.
Yeah. I was off traveling around the world when you were doing them things.
You haven't wanted that.
All right, but man, go ahead.
Well, I got many questions for Larry Senior, but I'm gonna shift this over a little bit to L2.
Okay,
I want to talk to L2. Now, the thing I've seen before, and I still have to see you live to make sure of this, but the thing that I saw in your highlights, L2, was this smooth jump shot you had. And people talk about this smooth jump shot, and and I saw it and everything. It looks good. And they talk about how you're a better shooter. You might be the better shooter between you and your dad now all of a sudden. So I want to get your reaction on that. Do you believe you're a better shooter than your dad?
Personally, yeah, I believe that. And
there you go.
He tells me I'm a better shooter sometimes. Just because I've been working since I was little, and him being there, helped me out a lot with my jump shot, my mechanics, and everything like that. So he gets props too.
Okay. Well, at the same time, now I've heard about you being a solid defender and a good defender. Now I got to give your dad some flowers on this. This is somebody who was an NBA All Defensive Team selection and led the league in steals before. Do you feel like, and this is where I'm gonna switch it to him real quick there too. Now, Larry, do you feel like you a better defender than your son is, or does he have the potential to be as good of a defender as you?
No, he has the potential. Like he's way smarter than I was growing up. I mean, I did a lot of stuff just off of athletic ability. Like, he's a better defender because he's always in the right spot. So if he continues to get stronger, continues to get that never let anybody score or always take, be aggressive mentality, he'll definitely be a better defender, long term. But high school for sure. I mean, I was just running around there trying to steal everybody's ball.
And you were doing it. You were doing it.
Great anticipation.
Yes,
Great
sir.
anticipation. But L2, the other thing I want to talk to you about is, a lot of times people talk about, following in your dad's footsteps, you playing ball, you doing things. I know you're proud of your dad and proud of what he's achieved, but you as an individual, tell me what's important to you as you cut your own path here in high school and then on to the next level in college?
Yeah, well, everybody knows, he was in the NBA. That's the ultimate goal for kids like me. So as far as that goes, I do follow him in those aspects of my dream of going to the NBA. But as far as like high school and stuff, I was kind of we worked together to make the decision of where I wanted to go. But CBC was always home. And now college, decide where I want to go to college. He's very helping, encouraging. He doesn't really have I need to go here, I need to go there. He lets me make my own decisions, and we just go off that.
That sounds great.
You know what though? Here's the deal, man. You are your father, though. I have a son as well. I used to tell my son all the time, I can't wait for that dog to come out of you. That you quit being such a nice kid out there, you know what I mean? But you are your father, and I used to be a dog on the court. So again, your dad, he was one of those guys who would take your heart out. He was a competitor. So again, on your journey, remember that just be like your father in those aspects, compete, play hard, and be like him. Okay? You're the man. Go ahead, Steve.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, also, Larry, we want to talk get back to senior here, because I want to hear about those days, of course, playing for Charlie Spoonhour, putting St. Louis University back on the map, getting back to the NCAA tournament. I want to hear about what were those days like. I know what you said about, your mom, your brother and everything, but right now we're just going to talk about the court. And on the court, what was that team like that one season and getting back to the NCAA tournament? How important was that?
Well, it was very important, but it was like a huge extension just from everything that I was comfortable with. Like St. Louis University, I was going down there, playing pickup ball, with Jeff Harris and Clag, and all those guys down there. So, and then it being not so far away from the high school that I went to, on Clayton Road, going to West Pine, so it was comfortable for me. And I was like, that was the environment that I was almost used to in some degree. And I feel like, basketball players are at their best when they're comfortable. So for me going in and having Spoon, have my back from day one, you guys know Spoon, he was a real dude. Like he was, had that country slang to him. Always had like a milk the cow sort of story to get you, motivated and get you in the, pointed in the right direction. But he never wavered. So for me, it was like, okay, I'm trusting this guy to let me go in to St. Louis University, rock, do my thing. And that's what he did from day one. So I was just able to just go out there and just hoop. Like it was kind of pressure within the city. But I was just able to go out there and hoop. We brought in, the guys that were on our AAU team. Matt Boniek went there. Justin Tatum went there. John Redden was there. So it was like I was real comfortable. And that's why I was able to just go out and do my thing on the basketball court because I didn't have to worry about all that other stuff.
That makes a whole lot of sense, brother. Being comfortable and like we always talk about here on the show, it's about relationships. And the relationships that you already had with them, that continue to make it comfortable. So it just makes a bunch of sense to me.
Yeah.
You got something else, Coach?
Yeah, I got something. I got a lot of things.
Yeah, I know. We all do. We both do.
I'm going back. I'm going to take it back a little bit. Yeah, you walk in CBC, the new CBC over there in Town and Country, and you walk in that gym, you look up and you see your banner. And your name on that banner. That was a special moment with you and Justin Tatum and Stricker, and that was a great team you played on, man. Tell us a little bit about that team. I know Bob McCormick had just took over the program. You know what I mean? Bob, how I feel about Bob. I put some whipping on him a lot of times, but again, I wasn't quite there yet. But again, talk to us about that great team you played on, man.
He inherited.
Well, yeah, we got Bobby Mack one. We delivered him one in a package, in a special package. We got him one. But you know what I think about when I see the banner is I think about the years we actually didn't win it.
Yep.
I think about, our junior year and we felt like we were the best team in the state. I think we got big-headed and we didn't go out and we didn't win it our junior year. So when I see that we won it our senior year, I think of like we locked in, we focused, we knew that we wanted to win our last game as high school basketball players.
Yeah.
So that was really our focus from losing our junior year. So when I see that banner, it's like, okay, we put in the work, the focus to make sure that we didn't lose our last high school basketball game. And not a lot of people can say that. High school basketball players can say that, but that's something we can always hold on to.
Larry, little Larry, you hear what he's saying there? Yeah, man, you got to put your name on that wall. All right. Sure. Good deal, man. And then you got to set your goals, man. Set your goals and then go out and do it. But again, let's fast forward a little bit.
You want to fast forward?
Let's fast forward. I want to know, Larry, I want you to tell him, what was it like playing with, you played with some great players, man. You played with Allen Iverson, the great Michael Jordan, and who else am I missing?
LeBron James.
How can I forget about LeBron?
LBJ.
LeBron James, man. Talk to us a little bit about those days.
Well, that's, just having, good teammates and being in positions to win basketball games. So, when you make it professional, like we're all like figuring out, okay, how do the pieces fit together so we can, create this championship, picture that we're trying to create. So we're having like teammates like AI, like you got to figure out, okay, how can I play with AI? Like, okay, everything that he brings to the table, what can I do now to make sure that we operate smoothly? And that with AI, it was me, playing a lot off the ball, going back door, playing a fast pace, playing in transition. And then it just keeps going. So I play with LeBron, or I play with MJ first before I play with Bron. So I play with MJ. And M is like, he's 40 years old now, but he still is like MJ. So you're still watching him. You're still like, understanding how great he is because he can still do things on the court. Sometimes the public didn't see the stuff that he did in the practice gym, like the stuff that he did against, Jerry Stackhouse, myself, Byron Russell. Like they didn't get a chance to see those things. So they, would sometimes talk bad on him that he wasn't as great as he really was at 40 years old. But a teammate like that, I had to make sure that I was passing the ball on time, on target. That was like one of the big things with MJ, is getting the ball at that elbow, you know, kind of on time, on target. So I learned that. I learned how to pass to shooters. I learned how to ask shooters, you know, where they like the ball, you know, right hand, left hand, middle. So I picked up on that from playing with MJ. And then with Bron,
what about off, real quick, like what about off the court with MJ? How was it like, you know, again, that traveling entourage? I mean, paparazzi's always around and the eating habits. He always talk. See, I got a chance to listen to him speak. He talked about nutrition a lot, what all he ate.
Yeah, well, off the court, it was, you know, we didn't have all the social media stuff, so we were able to kind of, you know, hang out. So I went out with MJ. Like we went to restaurants, we went to eat, and you would see people, you know, out in, you know, certain clubs or certain restaurants, and they would look at him like he was a complete ghost. And I think MJ is probably, you know, one of the few people that when he walks in, I'm still like, damn, MJ just walked in, even though I've been knowing him for, you know, for a bunch of years. So that's kind of his, you know, thing that he carried with him, you know, on or off the court, man. People are amazed to see him like he wasn't really a real person.
Yeah.
And what was that like with LeBron James? Was it similar?
It was similar. I mean, we're off the court. We're going into like the social media stuff and, you know, commercials and things like that. Things are starting to pick up. Yeah. And he lived up to everything that they said he was supposed to be. I mean, from day one. So I got with him in his third year. And what I picked up from Bron was his ability to listen. Like he would talk to everybody on the plane, you know, whether they're, you know, playing 30 minutes or whether they're the 15 person on the bench. And he would just like listen to their experiences of like, you know, either on the court or off the court, but mainly on the court of what sort of things that he can learn from or kind of pick up on as he continues to grow. And I think that that's what's made him talent, obviously, but his brain has made him as special as he is.
All right, real quick, like Larry, out of all three of those guys, which one do you think was the best?
For me, MJ is the best. Teammate wise, I mean, AI is like my brother, so we didn't play together that long, but we're like, you know, we're real good friends. So, you know, MJ is obviously the GOAT to me, but AI is you know, like family.
You couldn't tell AI that though, could you? I guarantee you, AI said he was the best. And I guarantee you, deep down inside, you probably tell you were the best out of all of them too.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
You got that confidence, man. Yes, sir.
You got to have it. Now, what I want to know, Larry Sr., before we switch back to L2, because I haven't forgot about you, young brother. I got a question for you. But Larry Sr., give me an Allen Iverson story, man. Give me the best Allen Iverson story on the court or either off the court, either one.
I think off the court, like people know, like they've seen like clips and videos and things, but he's really like emotional. Mm-hmm. And, you know, anytime we get together, it's all, you know, fun. It's all like loving, like love emotion. But he'd tell me he loved me 1,000 times. He'll sometimes he'll cry, you know, here and there, just because of like our background was really similar. You talked about my brother, you know, early on. And he had a sister that was dealing with some deals. Right. So that's how we connected. But with AI, man, when we get together, it's Boog, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. We hugging, you know, so it's really a good relationship.
All right.
But I don't think people know that, you know, if they see us together, they see us on pictures, they don't know how much we say we love each other and how much we hug.
Yeah. That's cool, man. That's brothers with real talk, man. There's nothing wrong with that. I love that. Speaking of real talk like that, that's the question I really have. This is really a segue into a question for you, L2. I mean, we've talked a lot. We know what your dad has brought to the table for you. But what about your mom? How you feel about your mom and what has she brought to your path here as you continue to move forward?
Yeah, well, she's probably the most supportive, you know, person in my life. She's with me every step of the way. You know, sometimes when, you know, he's on me, she's always there, you know, to calm me down, get me motivated, stuff like that. Her love and her protection is unconditional. So she's helped me a lot with my confidence, and has helped me build to be a better man.
Yeah, man, your mom's the strongest person in
That's
that
what's
house
up.
right there. You know that, don't you?
That's what's
Yeah.
up.
Not your dad. Your mom's the strongest because she carried you around 9 months in her womb. So that's that bond you got with your mom, man. If you were in a car accident and you were underneath that car, she's gonna be the first one there. Not your dad. She's gonna be the first one there. She'll probably lift that car
That's
up
what I
and
was
pull
gonna
you
say.
from under that damn thing.
Mama Bear
She's a
probably lift
strong
the
lady,
car
man.
up, man.
She's strong, mentally and physically. Don't let dad fool you. You know what I mean? She's the strongest in that household. All right, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna move forward real quick, like, but again,
No, you
Larry,
go.
back to you, man. I think when you signed with Cleveland, you signed. That's what your first big contract, was it? Am I right?
Man, all the dollars was big, but yeah, that was the biggest one.
Game checks, baby. Game
Every 2
checks.
weeks you were smiling. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I tell my former players. You better be smiling. Every 2 weeks you go into the bank.
First
But
in the
again,
15th,
you
baby.
took care of your money. I'm sure you did a good job of taking care of these players. They blow money and all that. Talk to us a little bit about what you've done, what you had in place, and your support for taking care of your money.
Well, just having a understanding. My whole thing is I understood where I came from, and I never wanted to go back.
Yeah.
So, I wasn't a flashy person. If you said you want to drive a yellow car, you want the black car, you give me the black car. So that's kind of how I, look at things. Is that you don't always need to have the best, but you need to make sure that you're comfortable. So when I'm saving money and I'm putting money aside, I'm just making sure that we're comfortable, we're good, but the money that it would have taken to be great, I'm putting that money aside, for a later day. And really just that's allowed me to do the stuff that I'm doing today with helping the young people and give back, because we've done so well with what we've been given.
Yeah, you got family too, you know what I mean? Family's important. That dude sitting next to you is very important. My son, I want them to have a better life, you know what I mean? And you're taking care of them from that standpoint. So that's great stuff, and I appreciate that, Larry.
Oh yeah,
Go ahead.
definitely. And I want to expound more on that though. Your foundation. Talk more about what your foundation is doing right now, Larry.
Well, what it is really we're a give back foundation. Larry's family foundation is just a vehicle to help and support anything that's going on within the community. We've done an organ and tissue donation. We've also done, random acts of kindness where we just there, whether it's give away gas or buy gifts for Christmas. So what it is really an overall support system. So it's not necessarily specializing in one area. It's just specializing in the needs of people. So my mom is usually the filter within that organization. And she lets us know, what we are doing and what we're not doing. But we try to give back. We try to help as many people as possible because we know it's something that carries over. People can learn from it.
It sounds good. It sounds good.
What about your academy? You got your Larry Hughes Academy going now, which is really taking off. It's really doing really well. And talk to us about your academy, basketball academy.
Well, that's to give back to the youth of having a place where they can go and feel appreciated. There's character development with also basketball development skills within our basketball academy. So it's not just about who's going to be the next NBA star, but it's also who's going to be, our next teacher, our next principal, our next law enforcement. So we're really working with young people on, adversity within life, but also on the basketball court. So we challenge them with their ball handling or with their shooting drills, things of that nature. But we also challenge them to be good people and respect others.
It goes back full circle, solid foundation,
Yeah. That's part of our curriculum, and part of how we build is we understand that there's a foundation that needs to be set, especially with the young people, and we want to be a part of that foundation.
And speaking of building on the foundation, L2, what are your immediate goals for this season?
For this season, really just number one, state championship. We've come so close 3 years straight to reaching our final goal, and never was able to cross that line. So I feel like this year we have a really good shot at it. Commit to a college, to take my talents to and further my education. And those are my main two goals right now.
Nothing wrong with it. Those some great goals.
Yeah, let me help you out a little bit with that. I'm sure your dad can help you. Try to get 20 wins this year. You get 20 wins, you're doing something great, man. That's always my goal. I come in every year, I try to get 20 wins, and then win a district championship first.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you win district, anything can happen from there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So again, you're rolling that for that. But put those two in your down your sheet of paper. 20 wins.
I like
Get
that,
it
Coach.
done.
I like that, Coach. But we
Yeah.
also gonna have them dig down a little bit. What's going to be the reason you're going to get those 20 wins? What's going to be the reason, L2, you feel? You know, who's on your squad that's going to make the difference along with yourself?
I don't want to say. I know what he's going to say. God almighty.
Who's gonna make
Go
the
ahead,
difference?
man. Go ahead. God almighty. I'll probably see him next Monday. Go ahead.
Some new additions. Got my boy John Bow, 7'2", holding it down, center position. So he'll help a lot. But also our seniors, we have like 8 seniors in our team. So I feel like the leadership and the camaraderie and the chemistry will be real good and help us throughout the season.
That's great.
Yeah, you got that kid from Africa too. That was 7'3". Yeah, good God Almighty. I wish I had him. But Justin had to go and steal him. But you know,
Big John, man. That's Big John.
You knew he was gonna come over.
I got to come up with a game plan for them 7-footer now.
Well, y'all beat us last year, Coach. So we had to, reinforce.
Right on, brother. I remember walking up to you after that game, man. You know what I mean? I always tell Justin, I said, I got a recipe for you, buddy. Well, good stuff. You got something else you want to talk about?
You always say,
go ahead, man. Let's go.
You always say the one more thing. I get to do the one more thing
Go
this
ahead.
time, whatever. Oh, that's good. I love this. And y'all helping him pass the torch. He usually always say, oh, there's one more thing. Hold up. So now I get to do it. Hey, I want to ask both of you guys, as you guys put in the hours, growing up, your dad working with you, about what age did this start that you really started getting into basketball? Was it always that way from when you were 4, 5, whatever? When did you really start getting into it, L2?
I think it was always, seeing him on the TV, knowing that that's what I wanted to do. I think that just fueled me a lot to go out, dribble a ball around. I stayed probably around maybe 4th grade. I really wanted to, I feel like I had a good chance of being a good player. And then him coming back and helping me with my game, my skills, stuff like that. That's pretty much it.
Stop right there. Talk to us about your routine. I have a son, and I always try to instill some values in him, but you always have to have a routine. And one of my routines one value I instilled in my kid was getting out of that bed. I always say get out of that bed. I have him up at 4:30, and we're going to the gym. You know what I mean? So again, talk about your routine, man.
Yeah, well, it varies. But I go from the summer. It was getting up in the morning, go
What
get
time?
work. Probably around maybe either 6 or 7. Going to get in the weight room first. That's a big goal of the summer. Getting bigger, stronger, faster. Go eat. Still getting bigger, stronger, faster. Another workout in the afternoon. Get some recovery in. I've always been dealing with these nagging injuries, so recovery is a huge part. I can take care of my body.
Yeah.
And then another workout at nighttime. Mainly shooting, get my mechanics right, and then the rest of it and do all again.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I love that, man, because again, I always tell my boy, you can't get better laying in bed. Most of these kids today, Larry, they'll sleep till 1 o'clock in the afternoon, man. I'm like, no. And I have my say, you get your butt up. We're going to work. You know what I mean? So again, that's the first things first, man. But again, continue on that path, man. Stay on that routine. Don't let nobody deviate you from where you want to go and what you want to be.
That's what's up.
You got me?
All that
I feel like I'm
noise.
coaching your butt right now, man. I'm going to get that, dang it.
All that noise that you hear on social media.
Yeah.
You have to make sure to be able to navigate that and handle that.
Yeah, man.
Correctly. So I guess I'm putting my 2 cents in on that too. So young man, so you'll be able to do that. But Larry, my question for you is, when he was coming up, like he said, he was so into watching ball from seeing you on television in the NBA or whatever. So I would think it was L2 that kind of came to you and kept asking you about getting into basketball more. You really didn't tell him, well, come on, son. You know, you were he wanted to do it.
I definitely, I've always allowed, my kids to make the decision as far as to, if they're going to play a sport or what they were interested in. And then I would support them. So he didn't have to play basketball. He played baseball a little bit. He suffered with allergies and things of that nature. So he couldn't really be out in the grass, play some flag football, but the grass just ate him up. So it was like, this is something that he wanted to do. And
amen, brother.
He sets his goals, and then it's my job as a parent to make sure that I hold him accountable to those goals. And top of that, I'm not just a parent. I'm a former professional basketball player. So I know when your goals are not matching your actions. And he's a kid that if he says he wants to do something, like his actions match up with his goals. So that's why I'm here to keep pushing.
Important.
Yeah, I have a son as well, Larry. I know what you're saying there. I was just telling my daughter and my son, don't play sports because I'm a coach.
That's right.
You know, again, they look at me like everywhere we go, Dad, everybody knows you. Everywhere we go, stuff like that. I said, don't get caught up in that stuff. You play sports because you want to play it, not because of me. And I can feel you on that.
Yeah,
no doubt.
That's definitely what's important. Totally what's important. Now, how important are your siblings to you and your other support that you get from your family?
Ooh, he probably got beat up a lot by that older sister. I guarantee you, she beat up on his butt. Talk to us, man.
He's not going to admit that on air, man.
Yeah, he will. Yeah, man, be real.
Well, me being the only boy, it was kind of tough, not trying to, rough them up too much. But yeah, I love my sisters. Whatever they need, whenever they need, like I'm always there for them. No matter what they're going through, I try to support them as much as possible, and they support me just as much. My little sister, she's probably the only one that doesn't, enjoy basketball that much, but we still, take her to training, go to her games to support her and what she wants to do. So those are my princesses, and my mom's a queen, so I always take care of them.
There you go. I love that. There you go.
Hey, where'd your oldest sister end up playing? Now, she went to MICDS, didn't she, Larry? Now, where'd she end up going?
Yeah, well, she graduated last year from St. Louis University.
Really?
Yep.
God, that makes me feel older now. I know I'm old, but come on, man, you're getting old now.
Coach, I got another one at TCU. She's a senior.
Oh, no, right there.
Look out. Does she play ball, Larry?
She doesn't. She's just going to school. She's studying child psychology.
Great,
all right. We need more of those in the world.
I don't see no gray hairs, man. You must be on that. You keeping the gray out right now, man.
It's a little shadow, Coach. It's a little shadow. It's a little tint in here right now. But yeah, they're coming.
They're coming. You got kids. I know what you're talking about, man. You did a good job of raising them. Great job of raising your kids, man.
Fantastic job, man. A good ball player and a good man.
Yeah,
that's what's up. Yeah. That seems to be, we're just interviewing guys like that all the time, and that's beautiful to my heart. As a black man, just what you guys are doing. I just love it. Just keep it going, man. Keep it up. Keep doing what you're doing in the community, Larry.
Yeah, Larry.
And L2, keep on cutting your own path, brother.
I'll see you on Monday. I'll see you Monday, man. I'm looking forward to that. 15th. Looking forward to it. And Larry Sr., again, I think I got a couple more years left in me, man. I think I'm about to retire, man. I'm about ready to let it go. And when I retire, I'm going to be looking for something to do, okay? So again, I'm telling you right now, you want to put me to work, put this little old man to work, okay?
Got you. Keep it light on the knees too, Coach.
All right, buddy.
He's not going anywhere for a while, Larry. He's not going anywhere for a minute.
Yeah, I know.
You got to coach my nephew, man.
I know.
He's not going. My nephew just a freshman. He's gonna be there a little while.
I know it.
All right. God bless, man. Wrap it up.
God bless you guys, man. Thanks for coming on the Sports Extravaganza today. Larry Hughes Jr., Larry Hughes Sr. We'll do it that way this time. We did it the first way, the other way. We'll do it this way this time. So I appreciate you guys. Have a great day, a great season. Keep on doing what you're doing.
We'll be following you, little Larry. We'll be following you, man. We'll get you back on by yourself later on, now without your dad. Yeah. Get him out of the way, man.
Well, appreciate y'all. Yeah, appreciate y'all.
Appreciate y'all. Have a great day.
See you soon, Larry.
All right, thanks. All right. Good job, my man. All right.